MMA is a world of courage, sacrifice, and heart. Fighters step into the cage to chase dreams, inspire millions, and leave a legacy. But some stories end too soon. In this series, we honor the fighters who passed away between 2024 and today. From rising stars to seasoned warriors, their lives were cut short, but their legacies will never fade. And in a heartbreaking twist, one of these fighters left us just one day before this video was uploaded, reminding us how fragile life can be. Get ready to uncover their hidden truths, shocking facts, and unforgettable moments. Trokon Dousuah, the fighter who gave his all for a cause. Trokon Dousuah was more than just an MMA fighter. He was a father, a friend, and a man with a big heart. At 33 years old, Dousuah stepped into the cage not for fame or glory, but for a noble cause, a charity event in Alberta, Canada. Little did anyone know his final fight would end in a tragedy that shook the MMA world. Dousuah's journey into MMA was unconventional. With only 8 weeks of training, just 2 sessions a week, he entered the cage for the first time. Despite his limited experience, Dousuah fought with incredible determination, winning the 3-round bout. The crowd erupted in cheers as his hand was raised in victory, but the celebration was short-lived. Moments after the fight, Dousuah began to struggle. He collapsed in the cage, unable to stand. Event staff rushed him to a nearby hospital, but it was too late. Dousuah passed away on November 23, 2024, leaving behind a grieving family and a community in shock. The exact cause of his death remains under investigation, but reports suggest he suffered severe internal injuries, including a ruptured kidney. What makes Dousuah's story even more heartbreaking is the context of his fight. Charity events like the one he participated in often attract inexperienced fighters who are eager to support a cause but lack the training and preparation needed to stay safe. Dousuah's death has sparked a crucial conversation about the need for stricter safety regulations in amateur combat sports. Dousuah's legacy is one of courage and selflessness. He stepped into the cage not for himself but to make a difference. His tragic passing serves as a wake-up call for the MMA community, reminding us of the risks fighters take and the importance of prioritizing safety above all else. Jake Sendler, the young warrior who fought until the end. Jake Sendler, a 21-year-old Australian MMA fighter, was a rising star whose passion and determination inspired everyone around him. Known for his explosive knockouts and never-give-up attitude, Sendler had a bright future ahead. But his story is one of both triumph and heartbreaking tragedy. In the days leading up to his final fight on March 3, 2025, Sendler pushed his body to the absolute limit. To make weight, he dropped a staggering 5 to 6 kilograms in just 48 hours, a dangerous and nearly impossible task. Despite showing clear signs of physical distress, including severe muscle pain and dark urine, Sendler stepped into the ring, determined to fight. What happened next was both awe-inspiring and devastating. Sendler fought bravely, winning the match, but immediately after, his body began to shut down. Rushed to the hospital, he was diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis, a rare and life-threatening condition caused by extreme muscle breakdown. Despite multiple surgeries, blood transfusions, and days in a coma, Sendler passed away on March 20, 2025, leaving behind a devastated family, friends, and the MMA community. What makes Sendler's story even more tragic is that he fought while his body was already failing. His final Instagram post, captioned, "Train hard, fight easy," serves as a haunting reminder of his dedication and love for the sport. Sendler's legacy lives on through the lives he touched. He was not just a fighter, but a beloved son, brother, partner, and coach. His mother, Sharon, shared a powerful message in his memory. Listen to your bodies, but keep being great and follow your dreams. Jake Sendler may be gone, but his courage and resilience will forever inspire those who knew him and those who hear his story. He was a true warrior, and his spirit remains unbroken. Ashley, AK-47. Nichols, the warrior who inspired a nation. Ashley Nichols, known as AK-47, was a trailblazer in MMA and a proud member of the Chippewas of the Thames First Nation. At 37 years old, she was Canada's top-ranked women's strawweight fighter with a professional record of 7-4-0. Her journey was one of resilience, determination, and cultural pride. Nichols began her career in Muay Thai, winning world championships at both amateur and professional levels. Her striking was razor sharp, earning her the nickname a K-47 for her explosive power. She carried an eagle feather into the ring, symbolizing her indigenous roots and spiritual strength. Nichols was on the verge of greatness, having won her last 3 fights. She was scheduled to compete in the Palace Athena Women's Fighting Championship on March 9, 2024, with a potential UFC opportunity on the line. But tragedy struck on February 12, 2024, when she passed away unexpectedly, leaving the MMA community in shock. Her former coach, Jeff Harrison, called her the most technical and ferocious female striker Canada has ever seen. Ashley, a K-47 Nichols, may be gone, but her legacy as a warrior and inspiration lives on. Teila Tuli, the gentle giant of MMA, Teila Tuli, a pioneer of MMA, left an indelible mark on the sport. Known for his immense size and strength, Tulie was a gentle soul outside the cage, but a formidable force inside it. Born in Hawaii, he brought his Polynesian heritage and sumo wrestling background into the world of MMA. Tulie made history at UFC 1 in 1993, becoming one of the first fighters to step into the octagon. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches and weighing over 400 pounds, he was a towering figure. Though he lost his fight to Gerard Gordeau, his courage and determination inspired countless fighters who followed. Before MMA, Tulie was a professional sumo wrestler in Japan, one of the few non-Japanese to achieve success in the sport. Despite facing cultural barriers, he never gave up, showcasing his resilience and strength. Tulie passed away on June 20th, 2024, leaving behind a legacy of courage and humility. He was not just a fighter, but a mentor who taught the importance of respect and perseverance. Teila Tuli may be gone, but his impact on MMA will never be forgotten. Gene Herrera, the speed demon of the octagon. Gene Herrera, often called the Flash of MMA, was a fighter who proved that size doesn't matter when you have speed, skill, and heart. Standing at just 5 feet 3 inches, Herrera was one of the smallest fighters in the UFC, but his lightning-fast moves and fearless attitude made him a fan favorite. Born in Florida, Herrera grew up in a tight-knit family that supported his dreams of becoming a fighter. Herrera's journey into MMA began when he was just a teenager. He started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and quickly fell in love with the sport. What many people don't know is that Herrera initially struggled with self-doubt because of his size. But instead of giving up, he used his height as an advantage, developing a fighting style that relied on agility and precision. One of the most shocking facts about Herrera is that he once worked as a delivery driver to support his family while pursuing his MMA career. Despite the long hours and tough conditions, he never missed a training session. His dedication paid off when he made his UFC debut in 2015, where he showcased his incredible speed and grappling skills. Herrera's fights were always thrilling to watch. He had a unique ability to dodge punches and land quick counters, leaving his opponents frustrated. Though he faced some tough losses, his never-give-up attitude earned him respect from fans and fellow fighters alike. Tragically, Gene Herrera's life was cut short on May 18, 2024, at just 34 years old. At around 10:45 p.m., Herrera was riding his motorcycle on the Gandy Bridge in Florida when he collided with the back of another vehicle at high speed. The accident was devastating, and despite immediate medical attention, Herrera succumbed to his injuries. His sudden passing sent shockwaves through the MMA community, as he was still actively training and inspiring others. Outside the cage, Herrera was known for his humility and kindness. He often visited local gyms to train with young fighters, inspiring them to chase their dreams no matter the odds. Gene Herrera may have left us too soon, but his legacy as a fighter who defied expectations will continue to inspire generations. Guilherme Bomba Vasconcelos, the explosive fighter with a big heart. Guilherme Vasconcelos, known to fans as Bomba, was a fighter who brought energy and passion to every match. Born in Brazil, Bomba was not just an MMA fighter, but also a charismatic personality who left a lasting impression on everyone he met. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch and weighing 185 pounds, he was a force to be reckoned with in the cage. Bomba's journey into MMA began in his hometown of Rio de Janeiro, where he trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. His explosive fighting style earned him the nickname Bomba, which means bomb in Portuguese. He was known for his powerful strikes and relentless determination, making him a fan favorite in promotions like Bellator and LFA. But Bomba was more than just a fighter. He was a man of many talents and interests. Did you know he was also a model and actor? His good looks and charm even led to a high-profile relationship with pop star Demi Lovato, which brought him into the spotlight outside the MMA world. Despite the fame, Bomba remained grounded and focused on his fighting career. This made him a role model for many young fighters who looked up to him. Tragically, Bomba passed away in 2024 at the age of 38. His death shocked the MMA community, as he was still active in the sport and had so much more to give. While the circumstances of his passing were deeply saddening, it's important to remember the light he brought into the world during his time here. Andre Musi, the fighter who gave his all. Andre Musi was a Brazilian MMA fighter whose passion for the sport knew no bounds. Known for his dedication and hard work, Musi was a beloved figure in the MMA community, both in Brazil and beyond. Standing at 5 feet 10 inches and competing in the welterweight division, he was a fierce competitor who always brought his best to the cage. Musi's journey into MMA began in his hometown of Rio de Janeiro, where he trained tirelessly to hone his skills. He was known for his well-rounded fighting style, combining striking and grappling to outsmart his opponents. But what truly set Musi apart was his heart. He fought with a determination that inspired everyone who watched him. He was a family man at heart. He leaves behind a wife and a young son who were his biggest supporters. Tragically, on October 23, 2024, Musi's life was cut short. After a grueling training session at his gym, he collapsed and passed away. The exact cause of his death remains unknown, but the MMA community was left in shock and mourning. Musi was 48 years old, and his passing was a stark reminder of how fragile life can be, even for someone as strong and healthy as a professional fighter. Musi's legacy lives on through the countless lives he touched. He was not just a fighter, he was a mentor, a friend, and a loving family man. Hakaraia Wilson, the rising star gone too soon. Hakaraia Wilson, a 26-year-old MMA fighter from New Zealand, was a rising star with a bright future ahead. Known for his passion and determination, Wilson had a professional record of 4-3 and was making waves in the MMA world. Wilson began his amateur career in 2020 and quickly turned professional, showcasing his skills in the cage. His last fight was in October 2024, where he secured a victory against Mark Alcoba at the Canggu Fight Night 32 event in Bali. In an Instagram post after the win, Wilson wrote, "I love this Sam, and I'm here to stay," reflecting his love for the sport and his drive to succeed. Tragically, Wilson passed away on January 1st, 2025, while attending the Rhythm and Vines Festival in Gisborne, New Zealand. His death, described as sudden and non-suspicious, left the MMA community in shock. Wilson was a beloved member of the Oliver MMA gym in New Zealand and later trained at Soma Fight Club in Bali. His coaches and teammates remembered him as a dedicated and inspiring fighter. Soma Fight Club posted a heartfelt tribute, calling him a young warrior who would always be in their hearts. Wilson's legacy lives on through the lives he touched. He was not just a fighter but a symbol of perseverance and passion. Though his life was cut short, his spirit and love for MMA will never be forgotten.